What's up, Christ Centered Mental Health? This is me, David Lee Sarche, representing Christ Centered Mental Health, the ministry where I talk about mental health awareness from a Christian perspective in order to give you real hope in Jesus' name to the glory of God the Father by the power of the Holy Spirit. All right, before I get started on this live stream interview episode of His Strength and Weakness, I just have a few announcements to make for those that are new to the channel. This ministry does have a Christ Centered Mental Health Facebook page and a Christ Centered Mental Health Facebook group. Both of these serve the purpose of allowing people to be aware of what's going on with the ministry. It also gives the subscribers a chance to interact with one another and also interact with me and give me content ideas. Also, me and my wife started a Holy Matrimony and Mental Illness Facebook group, which serves the purpose of giving or allowing Christian couples who are married who are struggle with mental illness a place where they can have a place of fellowship, and we can encourage one another in the faith and give each other sound biblical advice. So, and then also for those of you that live here in Toledo, Ohio, if you download the Meetup app, you can join the Christ Centered Mental Health Fellowship group where we're going to meet in local areas like coffee shops and stuff and just have a time of fellowship and Bible study and discussion over faith and mental illness issues. The links to all this will be in the description box below so you guys can check them out. So my guest today is a longtime friend and dear brother in the faith, Joe Roman AKA VapeTime. Joe, you want to briefly introduce yourself? Tell us what's your diagnosis, and yeah.
So a couple actually, PTSD, ADD, just those two. I don't know what you want to say. What's up?
Would you, for the people that aren't familiar with like psychological terms, want to like briefly describe what PTSD and ADD is?
So ADD is probably the more simple one to describe. It's attention deficit disorder, basically, like short attention spans. Basically, the kind of people who start a project but never actually finish it. Stuff like that. I'm the most like simple terms. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and you get that typically when you suffer some sort of abuse or traumatic event. That's all I really know how to say about it.
Yeah, no, I think people will get the idea. Like that makes sense. You never had any experience with medication, have you? Or
no. It's funny enough, I actually did have a therapist trying to put me on medication, but my mom rejected
really?
it. Yeah.
Oh no, I did not know that. Like,
yeah, they wanted to put me on Ritalin.
oh really?
Yeah.
Huh. How old were you when that happened? Like,
probably 12 or 13.
12 or 13. Oh, yeah. I did not. Yeah, I did not know that. You never told me about that. Like, so when were you diagnosed?
Which one?
Like the PTSD and the ADD.
PTSD was fairly early. It was when I was like 7.
7?
7.
And
Yeah.
what about the ADD?
I don't remember actually on that one.
Oh, really? So how did you react when you were diagnosed?
I imagine probably the way that most people did when they find out they have something like that. I thought something was wrong with me, like I don't know, like I had a problem or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I wasn't like
there was like a defect in you.
What's up?
Like there was like a defect in you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. Did you get like angry or feel shame, like a sense of shame?
Probably shame, because like obviously, I mean, those happen at pretty young ages, and
Yeah,
so like when you start going through therapy and stuff, and while you're in school, kids find out about it, they start harassing you about it and stuff, so you start
yeah,
feeling like it's like a way that they use to bully people and stuff. Which you see the size of me, and you're like, that kid got bullied. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely kids. Kids can be cruel. Um,
yeah.
so how did your friends? Well, you kind of answered this, but I'll go ahead and ask anyway. How did your friends and family react when you were diagnosed?
Um. Well, friends. So I mean, obviously, some of them were, didn't want to be with somebody who had a learning disability or whatever. But for the most part, they were pretty cool. My family, on the other hand, they've always been pretty judgmental people. So like,
Um,
so they didn't react too well. And so, interestingly enough, I grew up in the Catholic Church and had an uncle who was a priest. So, um, he kind of had his own views towards stuff, and
yeah, yeah, that's like the Catholic Church has their own weird beliefs. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. Much like, what's really funny is, I know you and I have talked about this many times, but like, obviously, them and Mormonism is not the same, but like, a lot of quote unquote Christian churches, I've noticed like none of them, New Life included, none of them, um, like if you talk to their members, none of them ever actually, they're always like, think positive, think
oh,
whatever,
uh,
the whole
the power of
demons,
positivity.
yeah, all that stuff.
Uh,
And so, like, when you're in a church like that, and then all of a sudden, like, you get diagnosed and there's an issue or like some kind of disability or something, like, a lot of times they don't believe in that stuff. So they feel like it only really adds to it because then they're like, well, you're weak or like you're doing something wrong or you caused this to come into existence or something like that,
yeah, it's kind of ironic that you bring that up. I mean, the name of this show is His Strength and Weakness because we find our strength in God when we are weak. So it's kind of like when
Um,
they say you're weak. It's like, well, thank you. Like, I mean, I'm in good company with the Apostle Paul.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
we don't find our strength on Sunday like with some pastor.
yeah, exactly. So, um, when did you come to know the Lord, and how did you come to know the Lord?
um, so I think you knew a little bit about this when I used to dabble in like EVP and stuff.
Yeah, can you explain what EVP is for people that aren't familiar with that?
So here's the part where everybody's gonna think I'm crazy now. It's electronic voice phenomena, and so like if you ever seen the movie White Noise or whatever,
Yeah.
basically what it is. Now White Noise kind of like Hollywood's it, but um, so basically it's like ghost hunting, and so like I would have described myself as an agnostic at the time, even though like I was a member of a church and I was going to church every Sunday. Um, it was the Praise Community Church in Florence, Colorado,
Pastor
and
Wayne.
yes, Pastor Wayne, and so I was kind of like dabbling in EVP. Basically, it's a way to like record uh, voices or sounds from the afterlife. And so I was thinking this whole time, hey man, I could just be like hearing things or whatever, or like could just be coincidence or whatever. And so I got a hold of a guy on YouTube. I forget what his name was, and just asked him like if he could do an EVP session for me. I didn't give this dude any information about me. I didn't. I didn't tell him anything. And so he emails me about a week later and sends me the recording of what he found. And it just had a whole bunch of personal information that only family members knew. And this guy lives in, so he would have had no way of knowing. I didn't give him any information. He didn't have my name or anything.
Wow.
So like, I was just like, well, if that could happen, there has to be something out there. And then here we are. Like, so
Yeah.
probably the start of it.
That's interesting. So, and then I mean, I remember you told me like part of your part. I remember you told me before like you had an experience where you were at what was that thrift store? Like you and a group of people were at that thrift store in Florence, and like something happened there that scared you to run back to the church.
Yeah. So I started getting. We were up in the attic, the thrift store. I forget the name of it, and so I left my. You can either do EVP a bunch of ways. You can like actively ask questions, or like you place your recording devices around, and you just kind of pick up whatever's there. And so I kept getting voices like on the recording thing, and it would say, and it was like mean, like threatening voices, like "I hate you, die," stuff like that, and they kept saying my name. So, I,
Yeah,
so I was like, that's the last one I ever did. I was like, no, I'm good.
I bet. Yeah, I'd probably stop too. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So, how has your faith helped you in dealing with your mental illness?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got a message from somebody.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead. Um, how did
How
what?
has, how has your faith helped you with dealing with your mental illness or your illnesses?
Um, Not gonna lie, like, I mean, it's helped. I still have other stuff I'm dealing with, and not gonna lie, sometimes it's a little bit rough to get through.
Yeah.
With other conditions I have and surgeries and all that. You know all that stuff
Yeah.
and all the stuff I've been through. Like sometimes I get to a point where I feel like where I don't know, like I was just talking to someone the other day about this, and like I know everything all happens for His glory, but like sometimes I just want a memo, like I want a post-it note on like like, listen, you don't have to tell me everything, but can you let me know why, like, this specific incident had to happen? Like,
Yeah.
can you inform me a little bit so I kind of have an idea of where we're going?
That makes sense. I completely understand that because there's times where I'm like, God, why is this happening? Like, what? Like, can you let me know what you're planning? What the bigger picture is? Like, because I feel lost right now. Like, so like I understand that. Like, and I mean, like, yeah, I get it. I mean, we're all on a journey. Like, and everybody's journey looks different. So like there's gonna be times where it's harder than others, and there's gonna be times where it's easier than others. So, um, do you think that taking medication displays a lack of trust in God? Why or why not?
Do I think what?
Do you think that taking medication, specifically psychiatric medications, do you think that displays a lack of trust in God? Why or why not?
No, I mean, like, if we're supposed to believe that He's, like, omnipotent, the beginning of the end, Alpha and Omega, all knowing, like, I don't, like, there are certain churches that will tell you, um, like to pray the illness away and whatever. And they're completely overlooking the fact that these same medications that they're saying don't take were made by Him.
That's
Like
true.
Like it's not like he sat there and goes, "Oh, there was a prayer for that," but like humans created this medication that I didn't know about, and so I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm gonna leave it in their hands because they know better than me.
Exactly. Yes. That's
Like
that's that's very
he's not,
well said.
he's not just sitting up there being like, "Oh, really? That happened? I didn't see it coming."
Exactly. So, what is something you wish others understood about mental illness?
Um, that it's not like a like even I try to be like because I know people that have I mean other than you or anyone out like anyone you know or whatever I know people that sometimes I become impatient with too, and I just kind of wish that people even like me included I'm not any better than anyone else um, had a little bit more patience for people who maybe had like a learning disability or some kind of like mental I don't want to say disability but a mental illness um,
Yeah.
even me like I still sometimes think that people just need to have more patience and kind of learn more about it and
Yeah.
instead of trying to like be over the person like walk alongside with them.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's definitely like people definitely need to learn how to show more compassion and empathy towards people with mental illness. Like, um, so, um, according to John chapter 9, people like the man born blind, he was born blind so that the glory of God could be shown in him. And I believe that can be applied to any kind of disability, regardless if it's mental or physical. So, in your opinion, how is the glory of God shown in someone who struggles with mental illness?
Let me come back to that one because I got to think about that.
Okay, all right. So what has dealing with your mental illness taught you about God?
That I guess I say like, and you even know this like from knowing me for so long. Um, that I would always try to be in control of everything that I had to like that like I would always try to control the
Yeah,
narrative. I would always try to like always be prepared and kind of control what happens. And fact is I'm not actually in control of any of it. So
yes. Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest lessons to learn when you first come to the Christian faith is that we really don't control anything. Like it's
we
all
know.
God is sovereign. He does as he pleases. Like,
Yep.
yeah. Um have you ever been hurt by fellow believers who didn't understand your illness?
Um, I can't say I have.
Really? Okay.
I can't say.
That's fine. That's fine. How can how do you think people? How do you think the body of Christ can avoid hurting people that have mental illness?
By not ostracizing them, like I've seen happen to you,
Yeah,
but by not like pushing them aside and depending like treating them like they're some stepchild, but not really accepted by the church. I've seen it
yeah,
happen to you.
yeah. That's a good point. Like it definitely is like disheartening how much like people with mental illness get treated as if they're like second class citizens within the church. I kind of understand when the world does it, but as the body of Christ, we should be different than that.
Yeah.
Um, what do you well, this kind of like what do you think is the cause of mental illness?
That I don't know. I know like chemical imbalances and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean,
that's a good point. Like I was actually planning on doing a video about that because I know there's like some kind of I don't know why this is a controversy. Maybe you can explain this better because I know that there's a controversy. Some people are saying that mental illness isn't a chemical imbalance. I personally think the evidence for it being a chemical imbalance is pretty strong, but there are some people who try and claim that it's not, and I'm not entirely sure why that's a why that's such a controversial thing. But what do you think about that?
well, my
As
question would
as
be,
a psychology major, like what would your thoughts be on that?
well, I mean, it's pretty clear that it is a chemical imbalance. Like we can test and demonstrate these things. But like if somebody was like, okay, well, no, it's not. Well, then what is it? Like you tell us since you have all the answers. What is it?
Yeah, that's
Like if
true.
you know that it's not a chemical imbalance, you must have some insight as to what it is. So give it to us so the rest of us can figure it out.
Exactly. And like, I mean, I had this conversation with someone before who was trying to tell me that we don't know, we can't tell the difference between someone with mental illness's brain with a regular brain. I was like, oh, actually, they have CAT scans that have proven you can tell that a schizophrenic brain looks different than a regular brain. Like, and and I even heard that even now they actually have discovered like they have CAT scans out there that have shown like brains that have PTSD that's been affected by PTSD actually look different on a CAT scan than a regular brain does too.
Got it. I
Yeah.
do.
So do you think there's a purpose behind mental illness? I mean,
I mean, probably, but I don't know what it would be.
yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
yeah, I don't know what it would be. But
Yeah.
obviously, if it exists, he created it, and mental illness exists. So I don't know what his reasoning is. Again,
Yeah.
we go back to I want to know his reasoning for things. I would love to know the things happen that have to happen.
That's true. This reminds me of Deuteronomy 29:29, where it says the secret things belong to the Lord, but the things he reveals belongs to us and our children forever. So like I mean, I guess we're just not meant to know his secret will. Like, that's another hard truth to grasp, I think. Because there are certain things that we weren't meant to know. Um, what are your thoughts about Christian counseling in psychiatry versus secular counseling in psychiatry?
What do you mean?
Like, what are your thoughts about like Christian counseling versus secular counseling?
I mean, I I've never been to a Christian counselor, so I don't know. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I've never been to one. I mean, I've never been to one, so I don't know like how that would differ. I mean,
yeah.
close to either one of them if that's what you're asking. But I
You would want to see one of them?
mean, I
Yeah.
would,
Well, okay.
I would.
Let me ask this. Like, do you think as a Christian, do you think that a Christian should like if a Christian wanted to go see a counselor, like should that Christian desire to see a Christian counselor, or do you think that Christian it's okay for that Christian to see a secular counselor?
I think either one is okay, but I think well, if they're Christian, I mean, why not go see a Christian counselor? You're probably gonna have more. They're probably gonna have more of an understanding of you than one who isn't. But like
Yeah,
both forms of therapy, they're okay with me.
yeah, that makes sense. Um,
I would go to someone that understood me more, that I related to more, so I felt more comfortable.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Like I tend to agree with you. Like I support both secular counselors and Christian counselors. Like I think Christian counselors have more of a deeper understanding of like faith issues than secular counselors do. Like and I guess Christian counselors, they're more free to talk about Christ, which is important. But I mean, secular counselors have I kind of like have sometimes they have a better understanding of mental illness though. Like so, they kind of I don't know. Like I agree with you. It just depends on what your preference is, I guess. Um, so back to the other question, like how do you like, according to John chapter 9, how do you think how do you think the glory of God is shown in someone with mental illness?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's fair. It's 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 a new question that I'm starting to ask people that I interview, and I just want to know their thoughts about it. Because I mean, John chapter 9, it does say like the man was like when the disciples asked John, or no, not John, when the disciples asked Jesus, who sinned? Did this man sin or his parents sin? Jesus responded with, neither this man sinned nor his parents sinned that he was born blind, but he was born blind. Some translations say so that the works of God can be displayed in him, and then other translations, I like this wording better. It says so that the glory of God can be shown in him. I like that better. Um, and so it's just something I've been thinking about. I actually did a video on this about how um, the glory of God is shown in my schizoaffective disorder, but it's just something I've been thinking about lately. So I'm starting to ask people that I interview that question about what they think of that. But I mean, you don't have to come up with you don't have, is this something maybe something for you to think about for later on, like in your alone time, like. But so what kinds of things do you love to do to help cope with your mental health?
Well, actually, one of the things that my channel's about. um, but I don't want to plug my channel on yours, but it's what my channel is about.
Oh,
What I do on.
you could plug it. I actually shared your channel in the description box so people can check it out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
like fragrance reviews and product reviews and stuff, and it's kind of So I mean, while doing all this testing of all this different stuff, and there's a lot of it, guys. David knows; he's seen it.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of keep myself busy in my free time because I'm over here like this notebook actually. I'm jotting down stuff that I've reviewed
Oh wow.
and keeping track of stuff and taking notes on what I currently have because I'm testing a few different products right now. So my mind is always like in the mind frame of like testing something. So I'm always thinking about that, and I'm like going throughout the day, and I'm thinking, okay, well, how's it performing now? So I'm keeping my mind busy.
Yeah.
Distracted.
That makes sense, and that's actually very important for people who struggle with mental illness. Is to always stay busy because I know for me personally, like when I'm idle, like that's like one of the worst times for me because that's when my mental health symptoms really start acting up. So it's and like those are yeah. Go check out Joe's channel. Is his channel's called VapeTime. It's in the link is in the description box. Like he's pretty fair in his reviews. Like he does reviews on a variety of topics and like or not topics like products and like different types of soap, like he said, fragrances and just different stuff. He's fair and he's very knowledgeable when it comes to the stuff he reviews.
It actually, I don't know if you've seen the video, but it killed me last week or a couple of days ago. I did a
Yeah,
review. I did a review on a product that I really liked as like growing up, and
yeah,
I searched for it for months.
yeah.
I got it and I didn't like it, and I was like, I really want to like this, but I don't.
What product was it?
It was the the Carry lotion.
Oh, okay. So just to give the viewers like a little taste of what to expect if they were going on your channel, what is something you would typically review and how would you review it? Just give us a sample.
So it's actually funny because we're on my desk here. And so just give me 1 second. So you can see my whole little setup, how I have everything. Let me take it off the tripod here for a second.
Yeah.
This is typically where the stuff will sit that I'm reviewing.
Okay.
Or on that shelf over there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, dude. It gets even better.
Oh man. Wow.
All of that.
Wow.
Some of it has been reviewed, and then there's this one over here too.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I know. The next one that is being tested is actually this one. It's the Versace blue jeans, and the funny part about it is it's going up against a clone of itself by a company called European American Designers, and you can get this at Dollar Tree.
I've heard of those colognes. I actually like those colognes.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
So essentially, kind of what I would do is I would obviously you can see by the level of this one, I'm pretty much done testing. I'm pretty much done testing it. So for colognes, I usually do about a week or two. For like lotions or bar soaps or body washes, it's usually 3 days that I test it for.
Okay.
So I would come on and basically, apply it on the video. The reason why I do that is because I'm showing people where to put it.
Okay.
And then you have a breakdown of it. So like if I was doing this one, I might put it on my wrist or whatever because that's a pulse point. And then just describe kind of the situations you'd wear it in. You don't really want that one in winter. That one's mostly summer. It's a pretty light scent. Sometimes if I can pick it out, if I can like smell it, which I can't in this one, like I'll try to pick out like certain notes and stuff. So if it has like vetiver or like, grapefruit.
What do you mean by no?
By notes, notes could be like the compound, like what it's made up of.
Okay.
Like this one. I nailed it pretty perfectly when I did the review without looking at the notes.
Okay.
It's got rubber, incense, all kinds of stuff. It's basically what it's like the compounds, like what it's what they use to make it. So I'd go through and talk about like what they used to make it, who made it, how much it was, how long it typically lasts for, stuff like that, and like when you would wear it.
That makes sense.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, everybody go check out his channel. Like I said, he does a really good job on his product reviews. So that's all the questions I have. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't actually.
All right. Well, I do want to say thank you to everyone for watching this video, and thank you for those who are going to watch the playback to this live stream. I appreciate it, and if you have been blessed anyway by this ministry, please feel free to give to donate to the Patreon account. If you can give any amount that you want between you and the Lord. I'll never ask for a specific amount, but if you do give, it'll give you access to a online Discord community for online fellowship and peer support with other believers, and also gives you access to a daily devotional on faith and mental illness and other exclusive content. And for a limited time, a portion of all the proceeds that I get from Patreon account will go towards helping a couple from mine and my wife's church adopt a child. This child really needs a family, and this couple really wants to adopt this child. So please help me help them adopt this, raise the funds to adopt this child. Also, please check out the Christ Center Mental Health TikTok and the Christ Center Mental Health Tumblr account. Check out the Defending the Faith Apologetics blog, and also check out the Christ Center Mental Health um, podcast. The links to all this will be in the description box below. Um, and also, I do want to make myself more available to those of you who struggle with mental health problems. Um, if you're in a moment of crisis and you need someone to turn to, please don't hesitate to call the Christ Center Mental Health 24-hour peer support line. The number is 567-343-3727. Once again, that's 567-343-3727. Or you can email me at christcenteredmentalhealth@gmail.com. Again, this will be in the description box so you can see it in writing too. And if you call me, if I don't answer, don't worry. I just leave me a voicemail, and I promise I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Um, and Joe, if people want to get a hold of you, how would you want me to post your Facebook link or your email or?
Yeah, you can post my email. I wouldn't do Facebook or any of that stuff.
Okay.
I do it. I do it obviously. Or actually, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I have a text now people could reach out on.
Oh, nice.
If they wanted to. I just have to pull it up here because I don't remember the number. Actually, hold on. So it's 929-517-1612. So.
And also, I do want to say, Joe is the analyst for the Christ Center Mental Health Facebook ministry page. So, someone from our team is working on putting together a website. So, on the website, there's going to be contact information. So, you can be able to, if you want to, once the website is up, you'll be able to see his information there too. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated about how that's going. All right. Thank you, Joe, for coming on here and talking about this. I know this is difficult for people to talk about. I know this is kind of out of your element because you don't normally talk about this stuff. But I appreciate you coming on here. I really do.
No, I was actually thinking about that as you messaged me. I don't normally talk about this stuff, and
yeah.
Normally, if I'm on a YouTube channel, it's my own, so I control the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I don't like something, I could just no, edit that out. Oh, delete that.
Yeah.
In one of the latest videos.
Don't worry, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not Matt Dilly hunting. I'm not gonna mute you or take you out of context or anything like that.
Yeah, no. I mean that's kind of what he did.
Yeah.
He did it, and he did it to a bunch of people. He does it to everybody. So
that's true.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I actually didn't show it all to you. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
That's my little ring light. They're pretty cool. I also have it. Also got some in my drawer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. How do you get all these fragrances? Where do you get them from?
So interestingly enough, what I do is I'll decant them. So what I do, I've sent you decants before.
Yeah.
But I charge most people for them. So I'll post whatever I have, and then charge people for decants. I don't charge a whole lot, but what I'll do is I'll sell a couple decants enough to get the next one that I want. That's how I got this. A lot of this collection is.
Oh wow!
selling decants, and then using those.
What's a decant?
It's one of these little sample size bottles.
Oh, okay. You sent me one of those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I sent you one from this bottle. Give me 1 second. This was the Dark Temptation from Axe that I sent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. Like, that makes sense.
It comes in a different bottle if you get it from America.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any available when I ordered them.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, the one that you got comes in this bottle.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still have that. I still have that bottle.
Probably should. You should, man. They're long. They got a lot in them.
It does. It lasts for a while. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna. If you want to stay on here, we can still talk. But I need to end this stream.
Yeah, just hit me. Just text me because I got a few things I got to do anyway. So.
Okay. All right. I'll send you this link when it's up on YouTube so you can watch it. Like,
all right,
if you want to. All right. All right. Bye.